What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video, and today, it is time to do a post-mortem video of Super Tuesday 5. I hope everybody enjoyed the live stream yesterday. It was a very entertaining stream. A lot of memes were had, and quite frankly, the night overall was a big W for America First. But we gotta look at some of the results. Some people are worried about some stuff. I don't want to tell everybody, relax, patience, and, well, we're gonna prove once again that, I was right again about my predictions. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But before I forget, of course, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, and yes, of course, go follow the mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. And, yeah, also join the channel today. That is right, folks, for just 10 cents a day, you could join Real American Politics. I think it's a good deal, and I recommend you join today. And if you do it for $5 a month, you can join Real American Politics and get a shout-out at the end of each video. I think that's a good deal, and I recommend you do it. Alright, so we have a post-mortem / deep dive for most of the elections. We still got one state that just won't count ballots, and we'll get to that in a little bit. I'm pissed off about that. But I want to start in Kansas, because this is kind of the least important primary that happened yesterday, but really all that matters is this referendum. So, there's still a chunk of vote out. When all is said is done, No would have won this vote by 16 points, and the state Trump won by like 15, I think it was. And people are going around saying, see, this is evidence that pro-choice is popular, or pro-abortion, whatever. And that, you know, Dobbs' decision will affect the red wave in 2022. No, it will not. Did this abortion referendum fail? Yes. But people need to realize something. The first thing is, this is Kansas. Kansas historically has been a very, you know, quote-unquote conservative state, but only on economics. You talk to some of these voters in Kansas, they don't give a shit about social issues. That's just a fact in the Republican Party in Kansas. They only care about tax cuts, tax cuts, tax cuts, and all of that. And you look at everything else. You look at how the abortion amendment was worded terribly. I mean, it was worded at a point where it's like, it would, like, allow, like, a full-on abortion ban, like, illegalize it, you know, immediately, no abortion whatsoever. Like, the strictest of strict abortion policies, which is unpopular in America. That's the one abortion policy that I can admit is unpopular in states like Kansas, which, again, it's conservative only on fiscal issues, not so much for social issues. And I would recommend people look at this result from Louisiana in 2020, a better worded abortion referendum. This was before Dobbs. Look at it. Look at this. It succeeded by around 25 points, or 24 points, whatever. Either way, you look at how Trump did in Louisiana, he won it by around 19. So this abortion referendum overachieved by 6 points. And again, I know Louisiana is a more socially conservative state, but when you take everything into account, when you have a good worded abortion question, like it was in Louisiana, and ask the basic question of, is an abortion guaranteed by the state constitution, and is required to fund it? That's the abortion question, right? Or it's stated, should the state not have to fund it? That's what it said, essentially. And it succeeded by a lot. So this idea that, oh, well, you see it, but Kansas, it shows abortion's popular. No. It's just a poorly worded question in a state that politically, it's not so conservative on social issues. That's just a fact. It's like a centrist state on social issues. They're cringe. Like, they would support an abortion ban, like, after 20 weeks or something like that, but they wouldn't support a full-on ban. So that's that in Kansas. Michigan. This is where the W's really began to kick in. Tudor Dixon obviously won. That's not a surprise. But some of these margins, I mean, look at Kent County. She got almost 40% of the vote here. You look at places like Ottawa, 37, Muskegon, 40%. And you look at the rest of the state, Wayne County, where Detroit is, did phenomenal. You look at them with Trumpy counties like Macomb, 45%. Even places like Oakland, which is not a Republican part of the state. It's a more establishment part of the state. She still got 47% of the vote. So I think the best candidate in Michigan won. Now, you can make the arguments that Soldano is better on the issues. Sure. But I think Dixon overall is a better candidate and is still solid on the issues. And, well, she overperformed even my expectations, winning by almost 20. I thought she was going to win by like 15, but it was a big W for the governorship, and I think Dixon is going to win this fall. That's my opinion. Now, the one race everybody was talking about, how, Peter Meyer, he's going to win. He's going to win because of Kent. This is why I tell people have patience. John Gibbs won by around 4 points against an incumbent representative that had a shitload of funding. And plus, the whole crap with the Democrats, supposedly funding Gibbs may have helped Meyer. Even then, John Gibbs won by 4. The reason it would have helped Meyer is some of these voters were extremely pissed off that Democrats keep interfering in our elections for Republican primaries. So they wanted to spite them and vote for Meyer. Well, didn't necessarily work. John Gibbs won by 4 points. I mean, he won Ottawa, Muskegon, won Kent. I mean, Kent County, this should be the county that, Meyer does best in, so is Ottawa. But nope, John Gibbs, the America First warrior, won easily. And I gotta say something to certain people. You clowns are dissing on Richard Barris for his polls, and all this nonsense about, mocking me for celebrating how Gibbs already won. How did that go? How did that go for you? Good job. Your candidate got crushed for an incumbent. He got embarrassed. So, John Gibbs, the America First warrior, will go against a Democrat this fall. I think he's going to win easily. He's the one candidate I think he would win easily. These people saying he can't win, you're delusional. So that's all I got to say about Michigan, really. Nothing else really, fascinating. Well, District 11 for the Democrat primary, that's kind of it. Haley Stevens won. That's kind of it. The incumbent versus incumbent race. That's that in Michigan. Now we got the one state that, people need to learn how to count votes. Look, we'll get to Arizona in a second, but really, we're only 48% reported, and it's already been like 12 hours. Really? Now, people are freaking out about turnout. They're saying, well, look, Smiley's only at 32%. Joe Kent's only at 20%. Lauren Culp's only at 22%. It's over. People, did you forget what happened in 2020? What happened was Republican votes in Washington, right? This is a mail-in state only. They flood Republican at the end. It's not like other states where it's Democrat at the end. Late mail-in ballots. They're going to break for the Republican-based candidates. That's why I think Joe Kent's going to end up in second in District 3. District 4, Lauren Culp is going to be very close. It's going to be a very close situation, but I think he has a shot at pulling it off. It's not called yet, and I wouldn't necessarily, celebrate being Dan Newhouse, because you're in deep trouble, and I hope Dan Newhouse does lose. But I do got one thing to say. Can these clowns just stop? These people that, grift off the fact that Dan Newhouse is unpopular, they run in these races and screw somebody over like Lauren Culp over. I'm sick and tired of these same people running for office and purposely effing over the good candidates. Because, we can win. They're probably old GOP implants, whatever you want to call them. These clowns that siphon votes away from Lauren Culp so Dan Newhouse can advance to a general. It's disgusting, and I'm sick and tired of it. Again, this is why we do need a convention-style system. So these people just stop freaking screwing us over. But overall for Washington, I won't say much more because we're not even halfway reported in most parts of the state. So, Washington, really nothing to look at. Now, Missouri. Of all my predictions, this was the only one that was, I would say, substantially wrong. Alright? As everybody knows, I had Schmidt winning, but I had him at 35%. I had Grimes from, 29%. What I think happened was, one, Schmidt became anti-Mitch McConnell at the very end. That helped him vastly. That helped him get a lot of that Greidens support. This was Greidens' main thing, that he was anti-McConnell. He was going to vote against McConnell. And I think Schmidt was able to siphon off just enough of that vote, all right, from Greidens. But also when Trump said, I support Eric, I looked at an example ballot in Missouri. The very first name was Eric Schmidt. I think a lot of voters, they just saw Eric and, well, voted for Eric Schmidt, not realizing who's who. But that's the only prediction I would say is wrong. I mean, you do some math, it's like, okay, exactly 10% of Greidens support went to Schmidt. That's literally what happened here. And Schmidt's going to be a good senator. He's going to be a good senator. I wish Greidens would have won. I think he would have been a top-tier senator, best of the best. But Schmidt's still going to be a solid senator. Just, I don't think he would be as good as Greidens could be. But still, we get a significant upgrade over, Roy Blunt. But hopefully, Schmidt doesn't suck. I think he'll be a very good senator from the state of Missouri, which gives us possibly the best Senate delegation in the country with Hawley and Schmidt. Tennessee is probably still first right now with Blackburn and stuff, but we just gotta see. So Missouri, nothing really else happened. A couple House races. Don't know enough about these races to look at, so yeah. But Missouri overall, good night. Now we have Arizona. Arizona, people were saying Robson has won. It's over. It's over. Kari Lake has taken the lead, and it just keeps growing more and more and more. Now, before we continue, I have to say, Arizona elections are pathetic. The fact of the matter is this. You counted every single early vote, all right? You released them all at once. Yet we're here 12 hours later, and still 20% of the vote is still outstanding in the state of Arizona when you have all the early vote done. Florida is able to count all the election day votes, everything in a couple hours. Yet we still have 20% of the vote outstanding in Arizona. Now, people are going around saying, this late vote's going to favor Robson. No. Here's what people need to understand about this late vote. So, as everybody knows, the election day vote got Lake over that hump. Alright, it definitely did. I'm pretty sure all the election day votes in, 95% of the early votes in. There's probably 2 precincts I don't have anything because frickin' Maricopa and Pinole County, they suck. But the remaining vote, people are saying is mail-ins. Technically, that's true. These ballots, they're technically mail-in ballots, but they're not ones sent by the mail. These are mail-in ballots that were dropped off directly to voting centers on Tuesday. That means I would consider these essentially election day votes. These are votes that voters went to the polling center, gave them the ballot, and left. That's more so of an election day vote. Now, it is a mail-in vote, which it's not going to be as favorable to Lake as a traditional election day vote. But even then, voters that voted on election day, which I consider those that came with a mail-in ballot, gave it to them. Those voters have favored Lake heavily. And the remaining votes are essentially election day votes. I don't think it'll be 65-25 like we've seen with election day votes. I think it'll be closer 60-35. But even then, you do the math, Lake's going to win this race. It's a matter of how much. And I did some quick calculations. It appears my range of, Lake winning by 6, 7 to, 10, 11 points, it's going to be right. Now, again, I had a range and I had Lake at 11-point victory. Again, my prediction was margin of error of 3 points. So Lake was going to win by between 11 to 8 or 7 points. That was for floor, etc., etc. So I do think Lake end of the day will win by like 8 points. So my prediction, margin of error. So last night, folks, my predictions actually were pretty solid. I mean, yes, Missouri was the only big miss. But that's that. Missouri was kind of a weird one because I think that the Gryden support just collapsed when Schmidt attacked McConnell. That's what I really do think happened. For the Senate race, my prediction was spot on for Arizona. I don't think I gotta say anything. So Blake Masters will be the next senator this fall. Anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, of course, go follow the mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.